Hello folks, just had an interesting conversation regards asthma. Okay, so asthma, inflammation of the airways, excessive mucosal production, normally on a preventer, relieve a combination of medication sort of to control the inflammation mucosal production. When the airways become constricted, bronchoconstriction, they're normally advised to use a spacer, which is a bronchodilator. I think its medical term is B2 specific sympathomimetic bronchodilator, normally blue or grey. That's what we use in emergency. Okay, so it opens up the airways, allows for adequate flow of the air to get the CO2 out and the oxygen back in. A lot of people don't realise when you have constricted airways, your diaphragm is actually really struggling to work. So normally your diaphragm, you pull down, rib cage lifts up and out, diaphragm goes down, that's a normal breathing pattern. When you have an asthma attack and the airways are full of mucus and phlegm, constricted, the diaphragm actually becomes tired and your diaphragm fatigues, you end up with hyperinflation syndrome, and sadly you may die unless you got that, plus you've called the ambulance. A lot of people short of breath like to sit up and adopt the tripod position. That'll allow you to breathe more laterally as rather as anterior posteriorly. You're getting quite agitated because that carbon dioxide buildup does cause a lot of hypoxia and agitation, anxiety. Now, okay, so we give them the Ventolin. The new ones have got a counter on the back. They've also got a safety locking device here. You take that off, you shake, so they mix the powder with the propellant. A space is a good idea, you put it on the back. I always tell people to prime the space with a couple of puffs. You can prime it with a couple of puffs or wash it with soapy water, let it air dry. So there are a few little hints for that. Okay, so administration of the Ventolin via the spacer. So maybe 2 puffs, sit them up, lean forward, 4 breaths, 2 puffs, 4 breaths. Yeah, okay, here's some grey areas. Somebody says, oh, you know, mate, what's wrong with 4 puffs rather than just 2 puffs? And I just did some thinking and I went, okay, if you have 2 puffs, it's still the right droplet size to be administered as an aerosol. But if you start jamming too much in there, the droplet size changes, so perhaps the droplets form together and the Ventolin actually can't get out as an aerosol and probably hangs around the chamber. So maybe in this case, more is not better, maybe. The other thing that concerns me about the Asthma Foundation is it says 2 puffs, 4 breaths, 4 times, wait 4 minutes. Are you kidding me? You're waiting 4 minutes and they're now deteriorating. That is not really intelligent thinking, it's rather bureaucratic. So, you know, you may need to continue to administer the Ventolin bronchodilator until the ambulance arrives. Sure, they're going to be a bit tachycardic, their heart rate's going to be up, but they're going to be alive. It's only 100 micrograms per spray. It's actually not a lot, considering what paramedics give when they get on scene. Now, if they have difficulty with the directions on how to administer this stuff, you can simply put a spacer on the back. Now, the spacer, you can do your 2 puffs, 4 breaths. Take it away so you don't have CO2 excess. So that's ensuring that all the drug is getting to the target cells and could expedite a positive outcome and get those airways relaxed. Another little hint, if your child or teenager has asthma but they don't have exercise-induced asthma, perhaps swimming's good, because when they're swimming, water pressure is 400 times denser than air. So as they're exhaling when they're swimming, they're developing a very powerful diaphragm. So when they do have an asthma attack, they've got this awfully powerful diaphragm that allow for the exhalation, and cope better in an asthma attack. So I hope a lot of what I said sort of helps and makes sense. Unfortunately, as a paramedic, I did go to lots of asthma attacks, and sadly some that did pass away. Why did they pass away? Some people don't acknowledge that they're having a severe asthma attack initially. The family might just notice a bit of coughing and dismiss it, or they didn't administer Ventolin early enough and they didn't call an ambulance early enough. There's many reasons, but it's very sad. So if we look at identifying slight, moderate, severe asthma, Slight, I guess, a bit of a cough, and they can still sort of speak in short sentences. Moderate is just starting to maybe have some inspiratory, expiratory wheezes, and they start to talk in phrases only. Can you get me my puffer, please? And then, sadly, severe life-threatening asthma is, God, breathe. There's no tidal volume, severely bronchoconstricted, and sadly, there's not enough tidal volume for the Ventolin to get to the target cells. So I guess identifying earlier, give them the Ventolin. If it's not working, give some more and call an ambulance, and let's hope it all has a positive outcome. So thanks. It's not scripted, it's off the top of my head, and I hope some of this information helps. Thank you.